Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome to a video I didn't exactly plan on making. This video was going to be another renovation video, but focusing on one of the many other jobs. Instead, it ended up like this. Of course, this would also be the day that I was meeting Joseph Lloyd so he could film the car for his no budget review series. Observant viewers may have heard the Mégane running in the background of his video for this very reason. The car had been driving all week with no problems beforehand, so something unexpected like this, it could have been something like the alternator not charging the battery for all we knew at the time. Once filming with Joseph was complete, it was time to try and find out exactly what the issue was, so I hooked up a battery tester which told me that battery power was low.
Okay, well that would make sense. Middle to low.
So currently not running 12.478-ish, 48. Let's just say 4748. This is a very useful little pack, I have to say. It's been used many times. 14.189-ish. So not running 1255.
To try and find out exactly what the issue was, I tested the voltage on the Renault and compared it with the Fiat. The results were very similar, suggesting that the alternator was actually okay and that the battery was the problem. This was rather surprising to me, considering the battery was only about 4 years old at this point. I mean, really, it was only a year out of warranty, so not necessarily the best thing.
Pogos are very good like this, you see. Seems to always start. Bouncing around a little bit, but that's alright. $14.09. So that's give or take the same sort of amount, obviously. Anything over 14 is good, so yeah. The Renault and the Panda both seem to be pretty even, which suggests to me the actual alternator charging it up is okay.
A couple of days later, we had a new battery to try. A larger battery. A battery that was too large, as it turned out. A family friend had a problem with their vehicle at around the same time as this, and whilst at their garage, they asked if they had any batteries they'd be willing to let us have. They only had this one, unfortunately.
Thing is, if we get this in, can we get it out again?
For a battery box on a 22-year-old car, this is looking pretty good. There's not a lot of rust. There's a tiny bit of surface rust down here where the clamps rubbed on it slightly, but it's not too bad. I imagine that could be down to the little drainage hole just down here in the corner. But a clean never hurt anyone there, did it really? So we have established that this new battery, as we thought, is just that tiny bit too big. Maybe a centimetre, 2 centimetres off it, it would have just about fit in, but yeah, it's really a bit too big to fit in that small gap. When you consider that was the size of the battery it's just come out of it. Yeah, well, if I put them next to each other, it might give you a better idea. Yeah, the scale's quite large, isn't it, really? But we are going to try a little bit of an experiment with it to see whether, we can just get it started properly off of this one. As with many projects on this channel, it is now a couple of days later and look, we've got a new battery for it and it is a lot smaller than the battery that we tried previously. You see, as I may have already explained in this video, the previous battery, the one that was much too large for the car, was brought to me by a family friend who'd had a problem with their vehicle. They'd taken it to a garage and the garage there said, hey, we've got a battery that might fit the Renault, so they managed to bring me a battery for it to try, and obviously it was the one that was too big. So we've managed to get one that's quite a bit smaller. So let's make sure, well, let's even try and make sure it fits the car. If it fits, great. That means we should be back in business. Between this time and last time, I put the little clamp back in just to make sure it was all going to be kept in one place. Let's take that out. There we go. Obviously the old battery is out as well. A bit dirty there, it's not too bad though. Although I did give it a clean last time, but obviously it's been a few days since it's had a battery in, so it might have all got a bit clogged up. But anyway, I think it's time to try out the new battery, see if it'll fit. Fingers crossed it will. New battery, it's me to move that. Right. Ooh. Well, it does fit. Excellent. Right, that is in place. Let's make sure to see if the clamp fits. Make sure it's not going to get stuck on something on my glove. Might need to move this back slightly. See, this is all the things with fitting it. Right, that is lined up. That needs to slide along. There we go. Perfect. This screw back on. Oh, little robin landed down just there. Might have just seen that on the edge of camera. 7mm spanner or socket end on it again. It's quite good having multiple tools for this, it has to be said. Saves time, it's useful. As I have said before, this little ratchet screwdriver here, this is my favourite tool in my workshop arsenal. Right, excellent. Battery's in place. Not going anywhere, it's firmly in place. Take these little covers off. Right, positive first. Perfect. Do need to loosen that off slightly actually. For one reason, and that is putting the amplifier thing back on. Not very descriptive, I know, but there we go. Now you see, the reason that the larger battery wouldn't fit is A, it was physically too wide to actually fit in this gap, but also with this fuse here, I can't really move it many places, well, under here, because the little wipers on here, these obviously these things, all the driving mechanism for them is actually under here, and obviously if it goes a bit too far it's going to hit that and blow the fuse, which is obviously not what I want. Right, let's go for the bigger socket or wrench, whatever you want to call that. So the next thing to do is turn it on and try it, and for that I have the key right here. Inside the car, all the security lights and all that flashing. Just let the pump kick in a bit. Hadn't quite kicked in properly, but a little tap of the throttle and we are all go again. Excellent. I think we're back in business. Whilst we're here, we'll just give the wipers a check, just to make sure none of the mechanism down here hits anything under here. Nope. Excellent. Also, you get a good idea of how that all works under there. But no, that's excellent. It all works. All we've got to do now is just put the plastic cover back on. Now, the battery did actually come with these little caps, which you will have seen me take off when I actually put it back in the car. And I don't think realistically these are going to fit on. Obviously, this one fits the negative side. I've got another one just down on the floor, just to my left, which fits the positive side. But yeah, that's not going to go on, is it? Nor is the positive over here, so these are gonna have to stay off, and I might just put them in my little car toolbox just in case I use them in future projects for something, because I'm sure I can make something out of these. But yeah, that's back on. So now all that's left to do is put the little plastic protective covering back over. Could maybe put the little self-tapper back in there, but I'll leave that for a little bit yet. But yeah, that's all back on. And now we have a normal car once again. Yay! I do like it when we have successes on this channel. The observant among you will have noticed that the car is now located in a different place on the driveway. Usually it's over there, but currently it is not. It is over here, and that is because I've just taken it out for a quick drive just to make sure everything is as should be. And what I can report from my little drive is that the battery located in here, if it focuses, there we go. The battery located just in here, still a rubbish compartment for it, but there we go, does the job I suppose. It hasn't moved a single millimetre in there, which is excellent. The clamp is doing its job. The terminals on here, they're all in place and fully gripping and doing what they should be doing, which is excellent. But probably the biggest change from changing the battery out is that the battery seems a lot more enthusiastic about starting now, which is absolutely fantastic. Definitely not a change I expected. But that's the thing with Project Renovation so far. It's thrown up a few unexpected surprises, which is one of the reasons why I started this series. And quite honestly, I wasn't expecting to be making a video on replacing the battery on it, but there we go. Those are the cars we were dealt with. So if you have enjoyed this video on changing the battery on this and sort of finding out what was the problem in the first place, please remember to leave a like, and if you want to, comment. Let me know how you think this is all going. And of course, if you're new around here, please remember to subscribe because it does help me out, and of course you get to see more videos like this if you enjoy this sort of thing. And of course, don't forget to hit that bell notification because it'll let you know every time a new video goes live. So thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you all in the very next video. So until then, farewell.